Let's talk about another retailer that reported this morning as well. Lowe's shares this morning of Lowe's and the hardware store, I guess hardware retailer. Yeah,
they sell nails.
It's up by about 0.6%, topping those bottom line earnings estimates. But the home improvement company had a big miss on same store sales, reporting a 0.3% loss for the quarter here. We were taking a look at shares there a moment ago here for Lowe's. Yeah. It's pretty much.
I think Home Depot, I think Home Depot in relation to Lowe's just had a better quarter, better performance in the pro business. I know Lowe's called out strength in sales of pro goods, that essentially contractors coming to the stores, buying concrete, buying nails, you name it, for the job sites.
Right.
Those sales up 13%, pretty good. And I'll add this too. Again, another retailer warning or just pointing out high levels of inventory. Inventory for Lowe's up 11.5% in the most recent quarter. And you thought, maybe you were thinking, well, it's not as much as the increases we saw at Walmart and Target. I mean, Target's inventory was up 38%, but Lowe's same-store sales in the U.S. were only up 0.2%. So that inventory increase is a red flag also for Lowe's. Also, Lowe's coming out here, I would say, sharpening their outlook. So they're looking for same-store sales for this year to decline 1%. To increase 1%. So not exactly a fab outlook from Lowe's.
Yeah, it's a toss-up at that point for the comp sales range that they had provided there. But the DIY side was something that caught my attention here. They said that sales were impacted by the shortened spring and lower demand in certain discretionary categories for Lowe's, partially offset by this 13% increase in pro customer sales. So really strong or really bullish or pro, if you will, over at Lowe's right now, but it's really the weakness on that individual consumer, the DIYers, the weekend warriors within the home, I suppose, that are looking at a lot of the projects. And again, for Lowe's and Home Depot, we were talking about it yesterday, how much they are expected to lean into some of the more seasonal trends, the cyclicality of the people who are going to get outdoors and either decorate the house for perhaps some of the holidays coming up or even thereafter. As you start to think about these companies and the compression that we've seen in their expectations, you start to think out to next year and when it's going to start to rebound. And that's when, for a company in Lowe's or a Home Depot, they start to rely on that spring season rolling around and strong growth in perhaps some of the categories that are outside the home instead of the DIY projects inside.
You just reminded me of some of the worst weekends in my life where as a kid walking around Home Depot with my dad or being dragged to Home Depot with my dad for lime. He would always buy lime for the lawn.
Lime.
Just a terrible chemical. But anyway.